In 1632, Hazarfen flew from the very top of the Galata Tower and soared across the Bosphorus. And so the Turks learned how to fly.
The saltiness of the sea, the sourness of the lemon.
Fresh fish, only the gulls eat fresher.
The rest night knows, and we, and the tower that sees, and the light that showed me a path through the sea. Justinian sent 2 monks from here out on the Silk Road to China to steal the secret of Chinese cloth. They returned with silk-white eggs, and from them hatched an empire.
It is a dance where the dancer grows through love towards the truth and finally
reaches perfection.
To the city, Istanbul. To the city.
In Istanbul, there are always two cities, 2 speeds, slow and fast. It stands always, the world's capital.
Today I'm going to take you to Istanbul, the city of 2 continents. With Europe at my back and Asia in front of me, this is the Bosphorus, the slender strait that gracefully separates the 2 continents. Living between Europe and Asia is a part of daily life here in Istanbul. You can literally do everything between the 2 continents. Every day you could pass from one continent to the other on a ferry like this one, while feeding the seagulls and having a hot cup of tea. Imagine if that was your daily commute and you wouldn't even need a passport to do it. If you want to escape the heat, you can even jump into the Bosphorus or a pool between 2 continents. And if you're a marathon runner, you can run from Europe to Asia in the Eurasia Marathon. You can even stand on the legendary island of the Maiden's Tower, right in between Europe and Asia. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of 2 continents. Today, I'm going to take you to paradise. We're going to Antalya, the hottest spot of the Turkish Riviera. Soaring mountains, palm trees, year-long warm climate, an endless Mediterranean Sea. No wonder Antalya is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. For sun lovers, Antalya is a magnetic attraction with over 300 days of sun a year. In Turkey, there are 397 blue flag beaches. 197 of them are right here in Antalya. Antalya is world famous for its top-notch resorts where you can enjoy an unforgettable holiday with your friends and family. But there is much more to Antalya than sun, sea, and beach. Here, you can see the eternal flaming rock at Olympos, see a concert at a 2,000-year-old amphitheater, play golf, and even enjoy these beautiful waterfalls. You can stay at a charming villa in Antalya's well-preserved historical district, wander its lovely narrow streets, visit the world-famous fluted minaret, and shop for unique crafts at the Cover Bazaar. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of Antalya. Did you know the word turquoise comes from the French for Turkish, as the turquoise gem was originally imported from Turkey? Here, you can see this color everywhere, in pottery, in Ottoman palaces, in sacred buildings, and in accessories. From Bodrum to Fethiye, nothing captures the Turkish coast like the Turkish Riviera, also known as the Turquoise Coast. Some parts of the idyllic Turkish Riviera, like Göcek, can only be reached by sea. So if you want to explore these untouched coves, Blue Voyage is what you need. The traditional Turkish sailboat is called a gulet. Here, you can enjoy a luxurious cabin, a cushioned deck, and say goodbye to your everyday responsibilities. It's like a gateway to heaven. The Turquoise Coast stretches all the way from the Aegean to the Mediterranean Sea. Every day, you can drop anchor at a new bay and explore the coastline. You can swim in an isolated bay, get a perfect tan, eat like a king, and sleep underneath a starlit sky. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of turquoise. I am going to take you on a magical journey. Today, we are visiting Cappadocia. This entire area was once covered with volcanic ash. Over time, the ash eroded and these large, breathtaking fairy chimneys formed. These fairy chimneys were once used as dwellings, churches, and even castles. After being expelled from Jerusalem, the early Christians were looking for a secure place. They sought refuge in the underground cities of Cappadocia to hide from the Romans and establish the first Christian colonies in the area. Some of the fairy chimneys are still inhabited today. You can even rent a tastefully renovated cave house as a condo or a hotel. If you like hiking, biking, and other outdoor activities, you're gonna love Cappadocia. There are so many trails surrounded by vineyards and gorgeous scenery. Of course, the best way to admire the magic of Cappadocia is by hot air balloon. From 1,000 feet, it looks more like Mars than Earth. Finally, don't miss the underground cities. Some of them go 18 floors underground. The feeling in here is magical and bewildering. There are tunnels, churches, and enough room for 30,000 people. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of Cappadocia. Did you know that Turkish breakfast is not just a meal, but a culinary experience? Today, we're gonna eat like kings and queens. What better way to start your day than with a tasty and extended breakfast with friends? Typically, breakfast starts with meze-sized dishes. Turks love to begin their breakfast with cheese, especially white cheese, which goes very well with simit, the Turkish bagel. Did you know that simit was the first fast food of the Ottoman Empire? Tea is an integral part of the Turkish breakfast ritual. Turks are truly tea people. Actually, they drink more tea than any nation in the world. Tea is made in a two-piece pot. Boiled water from the lower pot is added to the upper pot with tea leaves to brew. Then it is served in these elegant tulip-shaped glasses. Now it's time to bring in the special dishes. Let's start with pasterma. Pasterma is a local seasoned dried meat that's full of flavor and it tastes great with eggs sunny side up. This is sucuk, a spicy Turkish sausage that is also local and delicious. Another local favorite, menemen, delicious scrambled eggs with tomato and peppers. Finally, top it all off with the dark Turkish coffee. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of Turkish breakfast. Did you know Turkish cuisine is one of the top 10 cuisines in the world? Today, I'm gonna take you on a gastronomic journey. Turkey sits on a historical trade route as it was a critical stop on the Silk Road. For caravans heading both east and west, Turkey was a gateway. That's why Turkish cuisine became the melting pot of many cuisines. In Turkish culinary tradition, you can find traces of dozens of cuisines, from Central Asia all the way to Europe. Güzel mi? Nasıl?
Güzel.
Güzel. But Turkish cuisine is more than fusion. It is also refinement, and a key ingredient is olive oil. Especially during the Ottoman reign, hundreds of local dishes were refined in the Sultan's kitchen, and one of the greatest cuisines in the world was born.
And that one, the green beans. That one, the goulash, is the beef meat with tomato sauce.
Yeah.
And the plain rice.
Plain rice.
And
what? Appetizers. That's the meze, right? The variety of Turkish cuisine is absolutely impressive. From soups to mezes, meat dishes, vegetarian dishes, pastries to desserts, there's a heavenly delicacy for every gusto. What's more, historical culinary traditions of blending and refining are still alive today. Modern Turkish cuisine is highly regarded by experts. No wonder Istanbul has one of the most sophisticated culinary scenes in the world. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of Turkish cuisine. Did you know baklava comes from Turkey? Today, I'm gonna take you on a culinary journey through baklava. Turks have a sweet tooth, and arguably, baklava is their favorite dessert. Gaziantep baklava is so renowned, it's registered as a protected geographical indication by the European Commission. Adil Konukolu is the man who registered baklava. Çok güzel. So what makes Gaziantep baklava unique? Well, for starters, baklava needs 40 layers of phyllo dough. Each layer should be so thin that it's see-through. Gaziantep pistachios are savored for their unique taste, The butter is 99.9% pure, and the syrup is made with sugar. Even honey is considered overpowering and is strictly forbidden. Wow, the butter smells delicious. Actually, there's an etiquette to eating baklava. You take a slice and you make sure the wet side touches your palate so you can savor the light syrup. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of baklava. Today, I'm going to take you on a delicious journey through Turkish coffee. For Turks, coffee is not just any ordinary beverage. It's a symbol of hospitality, refinement, friendship, and entertainment. For almost 5 centuries, coffee has played an important part in Turkish culture. Coffee shops are an important part of the social fabric, and Turkish coffee is a staple for house visits, engagement ceremonies, and any nice meal. Coffee and coffee house culture spread through Europe from Turkey, becoming an important part of world culture. And recently, UNESCO confirmed it as an intangible cultural heritage. So what is Turkish coffee? Actually, it's not even a bean type. It's a brewing technique. Turkish coffee is made from finely pulverized roasted coffee beans. Then the ground coffee, cold water, and sugar are added to a coffee pot and brewed slowly on a stove to produce the desired foam. But it doesn't end there. Turkish coffee is also used for fortune telling. You take the empty cup and you flip it upside down on the saucer. Then the grains that have run down the side of the cup are read to tell what's in store for your future. Discover all this and more in Turkey, home of Turkish coffee.